Welcome to another series of It's Time. If this is your first time watching, go ahead and watch previous videos so you get updated with everything that I do. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click on your notification button so you'll be the first to get my videos whenever it comes out. Today I have a returning guest in the house and I would let her introduce herself to you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Morgan.
That's how you've chosen to introduce yourself. That's what would be up there. So a few months ago, I shouldn't say a few months ago, it's almost over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
You were right here sitting down on a chair and you were going to grad school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was your first time leaving home and all that interesting stuff. So can you update us about what has been going on in your life?
Yeah, ever since.
Yeah.
So I actually just graduated a couple days ago, and so it's been amazing. Grad school was incredible. I learned a lot, personally and academically, and so I feel like there's a lot that's been happening with that that's been super transformative, and it's been a great experience.
So what would you say to someone that is just going to grad school and leaving home for the first time? Like now that you're experienced,
Right.
compared to like the last time you were here.
Right. So someone who's in my position. So my position is single, going to a completely different state by myself. I didn't think I knew anyone, but I did know a couple people in Nashville. But what I would say is take it all in and learn as much as you can. And you're gonna go there for academics, but don't let that be the only thing that you pursue. Pursue friendships, pursue experiences, have fun, but also take this time as like a training ground for, I guess, reaching your goals and, I guess, becoming the person that you want to become. I guess utilize every experience academically and personally to grow and mature and be better. So,
Would you tell us like one experience that stood out to you the most?
Actually, I met a friend. We met at church, and she was like, it's kind of like a random sort of experience, but like we met at church and we got along, and she was like, yeah, let's get together. And for me, that was like, okay, like cool, like we can get together, but we're not gonna do it that much, only because like I was busy with school and work and everything. Mm-hmm. But the more we got to know each other, the more we would just hang out for hours, like without end. And I think that's had like one of the biggest impacts on my life, just like really inviting someone into my life in that way, and allowing them to just, I don't know, I guess just like allowing things to just flow. And I think losing control, I think in that sense of, you know this about me, but I like to be sort of punctual with things and and to be like, I gotta go here, I gotta do this and da-da-da.
There's no flexibility in your dictionary.
There is.
I'm not throwing shades. Is that what you meant? There's no flexibility in your dictionary?
In a sense, yes. Or maybe.
So, like,
what do you think about that? Do you think?
When you were in Nashville, did you learn a lot about like being flexible? I'm just asking.
I would say yes. You know what I learned? I learned more about time management in an effective way. Mm-hmm. I'm still growing in that area, but learning how to like dedicate time to things, but then also I started to put my values, on things that are more important than instead of on, what I thought was important, if that makes sense. Like, it sounds kind of like a dichotomy, but for example, that friendship was very, it fed my soul so much. It still does. We still communicate, but it was just, I learned to put value where it was most important, I guess, on the things that are more important in my life. So I would call people and talk to them for hours, my family, my friends, and that became more important to me. I learned the value of like relationships, and so I had to become more flexible with my time and communicating with people and things like that. But also, I would say academically, I learned how to schedule out my time to be more flexible, so that I could be more flexible in communicating with people and things like that. So I hope that answered your question.
It does. So do you think that moving away from home made you place more value on your friends and family members?
Yeah, so being away from home, I missed my family a lot. I'd never lived in another state, like without my family. So it was, if at times it actually felt lonely. And so I was like, family. I would like call them randomly, which I never did when I was in Minnesota, because I lived off camp. I mean, I didn't live at home when I was in college, even though I went to school in Minnesota. But I didn't call my family very often because I was around them. So I'm like, okay, I can just pull up, or y'all can pull up anytime. But when I couldn't just pull up on them or see them anytime, it's just like, wow, it just really hit me that like I was gone, and that a communication with them could be better.
You've had a graduation, and you attended your graduation last year, and your family and friends were all there.
For undergrad?
For undergrad.
Okay, yeah.
But now you're done with grad school, and your graduation was supposed to be in like 7 days, 6 days?
It was supposed to be on the 1st, yesterday.
Oh, it's supposed to be, yes, it's supposed to be yesterday. But now it's like being postponed, which we don't know if it's going to happen, right? Right? So how do you feel about not walking? If that eventually happens, if that gets canceled, how would you feel?
Honestly, I for undergrad, I really valued it because that was like my first degree and things like that. And I guess I placed a higher value on walking across that stage, and I really liked my undergraduate school, or my experience, and what I learned and the people that I learned from, and so I wanted to be a part of that whole experience. Graduate school is different. I felt like I was more on my own, which is cool, and it makes sense because it's graduate school. The expectation is that you have a full-time job and that you are, a lot of times you have a family. And so the investment into the student life, I guess, per se, is different. So you don't feel as connected to the school. So I place less value on a graduation ceremony. But I would like to do it. It's definitely different at an HBCU than at a predominantly white institution. So I went to the graduation in December, and so I've had the experience of being at one. Completely different. It was very loud, but it was like incredible because it was just dope. I loved it. There's a lot of different moving parts that were all scene moving parts. And made it loud, and it was just so much fun, which is completely different from my undergraduate ceremony. And so I would want to be a part of that. But I'm also, if I don't get to, I'm not bugging out about it because I got the degree. I think that's the most important part, that I have the papers.
What would you say to someone that was really excited about graduation, especially undergrad, and it's canceled in this season? What would you say to them? How would you encourage them?
I would say I'm proud of you. You did your part. The world still appreciates your efforts and what you're going to contribute after you graduate. So don't be sad that you can't walk, but you've done your part and you've done excellent. So I'm proud of you, and you did it. It's over. Because school in general can be hard and difficult, but you put in the time, and it's done. So good job.
So shout out to everyone graduating in 2020. We just hope you guys have a good time. You can have drive-through. I've been saying drive-through graduations.
What's that?
Like people having just a whole bunch of friends coming together and having like just mini graduation. It's on Instagram. It's fun. Funny. Or a family just having graduation for their family members, and they walk and all family members cheer them up.
That's cute. My family's actually thinking about doing something like that because my sister and I are both graduating. And my grandma's like, oh my gosh, we should do something in our backyard. And my dad was actually down for it, even though he's like corona free, like don't stay away from me. So we might actually do something like that, but I don't know how we would pull it off.
So we know where our first party is going to be at for the summer. For you. So, yes, I'm always excited for this question. The question that makes me happy. What does its time mean to you at this moment in this season?
That is a good question. It's time. So for me, it's time. There's a lot of, I think, different places my mind goes when you ask me that question. Like for me, it's time to, for one, get a job, right? To get a full-time job, because I just got my grad degree, my MBA, and it's like now there's an expectation that you go to the next level in, after you get, that sort of degree. And so it's time to get a job, no pressure. And then it's time to also progress. I think there are a lot of different areas where the God I serve has told me to move forward in. And so I think that's a part of it for me. I've learned a lot in this over this past year and a half, and I want to continue to build from this year, and I want to take everything that I still want to grow in, and I want to progress in those areas too. And so it's time for me to continue to be molded and read more books and have more fun. That's another thing for me. I just want to just chill. I'm excited to just chill.
Oh, that's good.
It's time to chill and have fun.
After how many years of school, it's time to chill.
Yes. So there's a lot of it's times for me, but primarily to progress and enjoy life differently from how I could when I was in school.
That sounds exciting. Are you going to invite me to some of the fun stuff?
Maybe not a graduation. Maybe not. We'll see. You'll be around eventually.
Maybe.
I guess. Yes, you're invited.
Well, you just said maybe, so I'll stick to that.
Okay.
And if you invite me, I probably wouldn't show up.
Okay.
That's not true. In 2020, anybody inviting you to anything, go. Because, yeah, it just places a different value on people in this season. You appreciate people more than ever.
Very true. Yes, very true. Even my friends in Nashville, I've been trying to reach out to them, hey guys, I miss you very much. Even though I'm back in Minnesota, I'm around my friends here. Now that I've built relationships there, I'm reaching out to them I miss all of you. So yeah.
That was such good conversation. So at the end of every video, I make people ask me one question. You can ask me anything. It does not have to be related to our conversations right now. It can be any question. It can also, you know me well, so it might be something you would want me to answer on my channel, or something about me that you would want my viewers to know about. So what question would that be?
What are some things that you've been learning in this season, and what are some growth opportunities for you?
I would answer that in my Q&A videos for the month. But it was really, really nice having you here. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
You're not going to answer that?
No. Thank you for asking that question. I definitely would answer that in my Q&A for the month. And if you guys have any other questions you would like to know, send the questions in and I would answer it too. But thank you guys for watching. If you watched through the whole video, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, drop the questions below. Comment, share this with a friend. And have a great day, guys.